So right now the IDF is in about 75% of Gaza, which means that they have troops actually occupying that territory, and in the other 25% is a lot of the Palestinian refugees and Hamas and the hostages, and where they're holding the hostages, which is a big deal when Netanyahu decides on a full occupation of Gaza Strip. That means he's going to move troops into that area, look through everything, which will most certainly cause whatever is left of Hamas to retaliate and kill a ton of Israeli troops, and also to kill a ton of Israeli hostages, right? Or whatever is left of the hostages, right? Which is why there's a lot of IDF dissent to this. And Netanyahu is going to vote in his security cabinet to see if they're actually going to do this. But based on what they voted on in the past, they will probably have no problem instituting this. I think he also said that the head of the IDF should resign if this plan does not suit him, even though there's a ton of dissent saying the hostages are dead. Like, people, all of the IDF military actions have killed more as hostages than they've saved. Like, it's very, very hard to go in and save hostages. We've seen that like time and time again for any nation that tries it. But this similar thing, and it happened in May, right? Hit the security cabinet voted to conquer Gaza. That's a much more that's a much more vague terminology. But at the end of the day, this is a war occupation. This does not mean annexation, but it does mean, like, what are you going to do after? Because let's say Israel establishes some kind of pseudo kind of military occupation government there, rules through military order. All right, what's next then? You're gonna hold an election? What are you gonna do after? Because you have to withdraw at some point. I don't think Israel would stay there. I mean, Gaza is so small relative to what they already have in the West Bank. I don't think they would stay there and get the international backlash for annexing this like small bit of land that they're not even that interested in. But speaking of the West Bank, right? Something that very significant that happened like only a few weeks ago. Actually, it's this one first. Knesset voting 71-13, saying that the West Bank is the legal, lawful land of Israel, and Israel has a natural, historical, and legal right to all territories of the land of Israel. This is the Knesset overwhelmingly voting for Greater Israel. This is obviously a very, very problematic. I mean, like anyone who can't see that this is a just massive change from the 90s and 2000s. It's a horrible change. We have more, right? Knesset votes in favor of declaration saying that the parliament opposes the Palestinian establishment of a Palestinian state. So, like, these two sides can't negotiate with each other because one side, which has all the power, literally all the power in the world that they could possibly have, is just moving to the right at like 100 miles an hour. And they're never going to meet the justice requirements of the other side, because to make peace you have to appease both sides' idea of justice, and you have to get close enough to where you can like meet in the middle. But right now Israel has no incentive to do that. Like, why would they? They're just getting away with this stuff and there's no backlash. This stuff isn't even covered in mainstream media in the United States. The Knesset early Thursday voted in favor of the declaration, co-sponsored by Likud. Statements and reports around the world regarding the recognition of a Palestinian state and Israel's need to prepare for a possible diplomatic challenge. The resolution passed by a vote of 68-9. So this is kind of like, I guess, in response to a lot of countries becoming more sympathetic to a Palestinian state, but it's very, very symbolic, as I've claimed. Like, there's no borders, there's no government, there's no whatever. It's a very symbolic thing that this group has the ability to govern itself, of course. So that's basically it. I don't think that there's going to be ever a big movement to. I think that the Israeli right could justify an annexation of Gaza, because there's no situation where you leave the people of Gaza alone and they'll vote for something that the Israeli right wing would agree with. So I could see an annexation, but for now, it's just a military occupation like they had in Lebanon for 20 years, right? Early 80s to the 2000s, when they were fighting Hezbollah there. But I think that the main issue here is how it's going to probably lead to the death of the hostages. But once the hostages are dead, and I know who does not care about the hostages, by the way, I think he secretly, like, he wouldn't care if they died, because then he'd get to fulfill his military conquest dreams. Just bomb the entire thing, right? Don't have to worry about the hostages. They say they know where the hostages are, but they can't do anything about it because the hostages are probably near Hamas. And they don't want to kill hostages, of course, but they're going to end up killing the hostages in this way that is more plausibly deniable. But that's basically it for this.